So I'd like to talk about sustainability today, but not the kind of go green sustainability, rather business sustainability in life sciences market research. Quick story. My wife and I are at the stage in our lives where most of the new people we meet socially tend to be through the decisions that our kids make on who they want to befriend. And sometimes this works out well, sometimes not so well, but recently we had a play date with a family from the neighborhood. Turns out both of the parents are physicians. These are, one's a hospitalist, one's a specialist in private practice, 5 to 25 years in practice, board certified, you get the picture. These are target prescribers, right? So about 2 bottles of wine into our play date, these guys really start to open up about work. Every moderator has a trick. Mine happens to come with a cork. So as they really start to engage, I think perhaps the most interesting thing that they shared was the complaints about work weren't your normal complaints. They weren't about promotions they needed or wanted, didn't get, bosses, difficult bosses, colleagues, HR issues, millennials. They surrounded the tedium of their jobs and how little time they actually got to spend with patients because of all the questionnaires and the arduous tasks that were necessary after each patient engagement. And back to sustainability for a moment. I'd like you to think about physician prescribers, my drunk friends, as the precious limited resource we're trying to save. And bad user experience in research as the pollution, for lack of a better term, that we're trying to get rid of. The first IIeX, I had the pleasure of standing on this stage and sharing experience research about quant, how to improve it, how to tighten it. And there are more vendors in this room and elsewhere that do micro-survey-like solutions today and have survey solutions that have improved. And this is evidenced by the increased response rates and requests from respondents for more of these kinds of surveys. Today we're going to talk about qual and how to improve. This is some recent research that we've fielded. We do a lot of research on research with our respondents. We fielded the participation question internally and externally to thousands of respondents over the course of the last few years. And the number holds true. About 60% of those that participate in quant either have an interest in or actively participate in qual, which means we lose 40% off the top. And primarily because they report it being too time-consuming, cumbersome. When we talk about how to improve it and ask them how to improve the process, make it more appealing, it's pretty simple. They want easier, more flexible scheduling and shorter interviews. And yes, it's true, we do move a little slower in life sciences, but it's due to the restrictive environment in which we operate. Nowhere else will you find the same level of regulation and compliance necessary to bring products to market. But that doesn't mean we shouldn't be able to leverage improved technology for better user experience. It does, however, mean that the right degree of service and compliance needs to be built in and around the technology to ensure that we're not just speeding up a process, but that we're getting the job done well. And this is often where technology businesses get it wrong when they try to enter healthcare and life sciences. It's not just about speeding up the process, it's about building in the right service and compliance to ensure that the job is done well. So in advance of building anything, we've spent many months speaking with vendors, partners, clients, and research participants to really understand where to automate. And that's what we're here to do today. We're going to share some of the opportunities for automation in life sciences with the goal of ultimately getting all of us closer to sustainably responsible research practices. Our sincerest wish is that each of you continue to expect more out of the technology that you use, and that you continue to build well beyond what we're going to talk about here today. On average, Traditional market research, qualitative research interviews require 2 to 3 contacts in advance of the interview. Survey says, do it all at the same time. Screen, opt in, and schedule. In general, we should be capturing more information about our respondents, knowing what they're likely to qualify for. One of the more frustrating things for physicians is that they continue to screen out over and over again. And we should just know more about our participants and invite them appropriately. Scheduling shorter interviews. On average, the optimal amount of time requested for qual interviews by respondents is between 20 and 25 minutes. This provides them with a broader degree of flexibility. But you got to fix your technology so you don't spend 20 minutes trying to get in. That's an important component. Respondents should also have the ability, we use microsurveys to schedule. You can use other forms of technology and other methods. But the idea is that respondents should be able to select from available times. It should update in real time for everyone taking the same exercise. These are basic functions that the technology exists in a wide range of tools today to implement. I mean, imagine a single moderator being able to conduct interviews in every country without human translators. This will soon be possible with the translation technology that exists today. And further out is automating qual analysis. Text analytics provides counts, sentiment analysis, it's great, but given the nature of much of the complexity associated with the transcripts in life sciences market research, most of these solutions leave a lot to be desired. The most interesting technology I've seen is the same tech being used to create self-driving cars. It's a combination of reinforcement learning and AI, where at some point we may have analysis bots that were created using this kind of life science-focused trial and error that could eventually create and give us the context in addition to counts. Some exciting stuff, right? I'd like to leave you with a few just key takeaways today. Insight to decision faster is sustainably responsible because it's a win-win, both sides of the aisle. It measures, or it enables us to measure project times in days instead of weeks, months, improving the user experience on both sides of the aisle, which ultimately builds bridges and increases and improves the dialogue that you're having with your customers. If you're a vendor in the room and you're bringing new technology to this market, remember that we're special. Focus on improving and speeding the process, yes, but ensure that the right level of service and compliance is built in and around the technology. And I'm going to take the other side of that argument now and say that to our clients, it really is up to you guys to push your vendors to build better user experiences for your customers. Engaging, especially your physician customers, in a long-term way means frequently doing so on their terms. And the most incredibly well-designed research, methodologically, will be rendered completely useless if we lose the opportunity to find enough physicians to respond. So thanks so much. Happy to take questions.